Dude, wait. Hey, welcome to the best of everything. I am Ruben Paul. This is my brother from a Portuguese mother, the one and only Johnny Sanchez. What up, man?
What's up, bro? So Ruben's out of breath. He just literally landed.
I just landed at LAX.
At LAX from Canada.
Yes.
He went running. He was doing his O.J. Simpson through the airport.
Why you got to say OJ?
Well, you kind of resemble him a little bit. Has anybody ever told you that?
Yeah,
You've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. So
we don't need to bring that up.
He had a suit on and everything. And he was hurtling.
my little shoulder strap.
And he gets to Hertz rental, and then he takes the drive, and then he got cleaned up, and then he ran over. So that's why
I'm straight from the airport. Shout out to Ian Bagg and Jeff Dye. We did a show up in Terrace,
Jeff Dye,
British Columbia.
Terrace,
which is hour and 45 minutes north of Vancouver. So
okay.
it's up there. Beautiful place though. Small town.
I bet.
Johnny, this is how small the town is.
Okay.
They had a 1-lane bridge.
Wow. So you got to wait for other people to get off.
Yes. And they have a light on one side and a light on the other side. And you have to wait. So, of course, I talked about that when I got on stage.
Oh, of course.
But let me tell you, it's Ian Bagg's hometown, and everybody sounds like Ian there. Like everybody sounds like Ian.
That's funny.
And
what's the population? Do you remember?
He said 10,000.
Oh, that is small.
Yeah. He said population 10,000.
You're right. Tulsa's big compared to that.
Yeah. Great people. We did a fundraiser. I can't remember the name of the group, but they just help families deal with terminally ill family members.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Because
okay.
Sometimes you run out of money.
Yeah.
Insurance doesn't even cover that. Some things, even in Canada, who has free health care.
Correct.
But there's some things that the government just won't cover.
Yeah.
So it just helps these families deal with this stuff.
So it goes to that organization.
It goes to that organization, and they distribute it to the families who just need the extra help. Yeah. And I'm sensitive to that type of stuff, having gone through stuff like that. So it was a great cause.
It was you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's you, Ian Bagg, Jeff Dye. I didn't know Jeff was on it.
And then they had a country singer named Ian who was great. And it was awesome, man. And, you go up to a place like that, and let me tell you, Ian Bagg in his hometown, it's probably the same thing if you in your hometown, like he is absolutely murdering.
Oh,
and he was like, I never get to do all this local stuff.
Yeah. He's doing because he gets to talk about local.
Man, he's like you're in the back going, who's gonna follow that? Because he already kills anyway.
He was hosting.
Yeah, he's hosted it. It's his hometown, man, and just local references. And there's some lady named Pam Lamb. And she's the hottest chick in the town from childhood, and she's still on fire as an adult. Like she's still just as hot. And dude, he said something about it, and I put it in my memory bank, and then halfway through my set, I go, "Hey man, I just came up here to see Pam Lamb," and the place exploded. And I guess she was there, and it's just funny. Everybody talks about like she's like the town.
Oh, the one town, majorly town hottie.
Yes,
that was hot from
grade school
and she's still
hot.
So she's someone that
she's like the principal of a school now there, and
she went to school with Ian. Is that how he knew her?
Yeah, okay, they all grew up in this small little town community.
When you said that name, I thought it was a performer and it was a stage name.
Oh no, just
dude, Pam Lamb.
Yeah, and the place like everybody in the town knows who she is. Like she should have been Miss Canada or something like that's how gorgeous I guess this lady is.
And you didn't meet her afterwards?
I didn't get a chance to meet her after.
Okay.
No, because we had a 6 a.m. flight the following morning, so it was all that stuff.
Yeah, of course. Awesome.
But one thing that I want to talk about is travel. Like some of the worst travel stories ever. Now this wasn't bad, but I felt bad for Jeff Dye because Jeff left LA, I believe, at 6 a.m. or something like that.
Okay. Going there
from LA to Vancouver, then Vancouver to Terrace. And I think he had like a 6.5 hour layover in the airport. And then when we got to Terrace, they couldn't find his bag right away. And there's only one baggage claim.
So wait a minute. This little town has an airport?
Yeah, tiny airport with one baggage claim.
I mean, what is it? Are there,
one gate.
Are there
one gate? There's one gate. There's one gate at this airport.
What are you guys coming in on, Cessnas?
Small, those small little planes.
The puddle jumpers?
Yeah.
With jets or propellers?
Jets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's decent. That's crazy. A population of 10,000. Now, Tulare has an airport. Well, it's really Visalia, but it's for private. It's private only. It's private. The small planes. But people who own their own plane.
But even a lot of people don't fly into Fresno. Fresno has a decent sized airport, right?
No, Fresno's airport is like Ontario.
Oh, really?
It's a good size.
So when you were living up there, did you fly in and out of?
No. Not back then. No,
oh, okay.
No. But Fresno it's got that kind of. It's like Burbank or Ontario. Which one's bigger? Burbank is, right?
Burbank is.
Okay.
I love flying out of Burbank.
I've never been to Ontario, but I would just think Ontario would be similar to probably Fresno.
So, so when I show up, man, Jeff was so happy to see me because I left at 1:30 in the afternoon going to Vancouver.
He left at 6.
Yeah. And we're on the same connection. Going because that was the only connection going to Terrace. So when he saw me, dude, you would have thought like he was in the desert and I had water.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's like, Rube. I hadn't seen Jeff in a while. I was like, wow, you're really happy to see me. He's like, dude. Oh, they made him check his bag too, and he had all his cords and chargers and everything in this bag. So he's sitting in that airport with a dead phone for 6.5 hours.
Oh, you mean how we used to travel?
Yeah, I guess, huh?
Well, you read a magazine or a book?
Yeah, but come on, man. It's 2019. Ain't nobody reading.
But what I'm saying is, no, you know what's funny? So I'm just curious. Did he do his own booking or did somebody do it for him?
They did it for him.
See,
he would have never done that.
Let me tell you, comics.
Tell him, Johnny. Johnny has the worst travel stories.
Sometimes it's just better to do it when these book agencies just go, we got you. We'll get you on the get you. And we used to talk about this all the time. We go, man, we got to stop letting these guys book us.
Well, one thing that I do is I just don't let somebody book something blindly. I go, I have to confirm it.
Confirm it because you'll go check to see what other routes and what other. Because
sometimes they'll give you a shitty route just to save $25.
And this sounds like one of those situations trying to save Jeff some money.
Man,
or themselves. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works, but for him, remember we would be on Ruben and I be on the phone going, you're not gonna believe this, dude. Because sometimes we would check and we catch it ahead of time. Then there were those times they just email us our itinerary. We go, hey, okay. And then it wasn't until the night before we check. We go, yo, dude. They have me laying over 6.5, and then you're stuck at that point.
The worst sometimes is when you're traveling internationally. And so sometimes you're stuck between, wanting to fly first class, depending on, thanks, Johnny.
I'm trying to find where we are.
Did you share?
The promo.
I shared it.
Oh, you shared it for him?
Oh,
all right. So, like sometimes you're stuck in between. Like, all right, if I want to fly this particular airline because I can get upgraded to first class, or it's the right price, et cetera, but then it's a 18-hour layover, 16-hour layover. I think when me and Tony Rock went to Qatar, our layover was like
that's Qatar too. For those that don't know, they call it Qatar.
Yeah,
just in case.
I'm sure you'll find out the correct pronunciation of it, Johnny. I'm sure you'll.
No, they say Qatar.
Yes, I know.
But a lot of people don't know that.
I used to say Qatar.
Qatar.
And then I got corrected when I went over there, so now I say Qatar.
Right.
And I guess it's technically Qatar.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
They say Qatar.
Yeah. How do they say it, Johnny?
Qatar. Now it makes sense. I thought it was a slang. I thought people were just like, no, we call it Qatar. You know what I mean? But anyway, Qatar.
What's your worst travel experience, man?
Oh,
you have too many. Let's talk about the time you missed your flight. Johnny always said, I never miss any flights. I don't miss flights. And then you missed a flight.
I've only missed in 20, let's see, I don't know. When did I start? About 22, 23 years. I've only missed one flight on my own. And that was that time I went to go visit B for Christmas.
I remember.
That was my only one. That was my fault.
That wasn't even for a gig.
That wasn't for a gig. That was me just not forgetting to set my alarm. It's the only time I did it. The other ones, The other one was flying out of Notre Dame, and it was too icy, and the flight got delayed. And then when we got to our connection, I ran up, and they had just closed the door.
Yeah, but that's not your fault.
No,
though.
right. So
Yeah.
I only missed one flight on my own.
Okay.
Like that was my
That's
fault.
impressive.
I was good, dude. And remember, I'm mad with the Notre Dame one because I had a streak going. Because I remember telling the ticket lady, I go, hey, this was like year 17 for me flying.
Yeah.
I go, whoa, can you open? Because I've gone 17 years without missing a flight.
Yeah.
Now I've had delays and I've had cancel, where they're like cancellations and things like that, where they moved us or whatever. But I had a streak going, man. And then, but the one that was my fault. I was so excited that I was going out to visit B in South Carolina that I was at the Laugh Factory that night. And I remember even Ike was like, shouldn't you be in bed? It's already like 12:30. And I'm like, I'm fine. I was drinking wine. She's like, I just think you should be rested in the morning to go see.
Yeah, when Johnny drinks his wine.
And then I
can't even talk to him.
And I can't
tell
stop
Johnny
either.
anything. Yeah.
So I left at 1:32 and I was supposed to get up. My flight was at 6:30 or 7.
What time did you get up? What time did you open your eyes?
At like 4:30.
Oh,
my
really?
Flight was 6 maybe. 5:30. Here's my mistake. I drove and I parked and then got on the shuttle. I should have just gotten. I didn't have Uber at the time, so I should have. I don't even think Ubers were that.
I think they were.
This is a few years ago. I know I wasn't using them yet.
You just weren't
I wasn't
using
using them yet. But I would have been better off to just like getting a cab or something.
Yeah, then getting dropped off instead of parking.
And then when we're on the shuttle, they're just like, "Can you go a little faster for this guy?" Because I was like, "I'm gonna miss my flight for my dog." I mean, I literally cried a little bit. I'm not even kidding. When I didn't make. But this was Christmas. This was the Christmas break, dude. And somehow they got me on the next flight. I don't even know how that worked out.
Well, it was meant to be.
It was. I learned my lesson on that.
I missed a flight recently, and I guess technically it was my fault. But the worst is when you miss a connection. So I barely made the flight out of LA. We land in, I think I was in Seattle. I can't remember exactly where I was, but I went to the gate and I was exhausted. So I'm at the gate that we're going to be flying out of.
Yeah.
And I take a little nap. I'm just kind of like napping with my eyes open.
Is this the one not too long ago, right?
Yeah, this just happened recently. So I'm kind of sitting at the gate, and then you're like, when you know you have to catch a flight, like you don't sleep heavy.
No.
So my eyes are popping up, and I'm kind of looking. Nothing's happening. Then I kind of doze off, and I go, man, this plane should be boarding by now. Then I glance up, and it was a gate change. And there was no announcement of the gate change. So of course I pop up. Find out with the new gate. No alert on my phone, because usually they'll alert you, go, hey, there's been a gate change or something. Yeah. No announcement over the PA, nothing.
Well, what if they announced and you didn't hear it if you were dozed off?
I doubt it, Johnny.
Oh, okay.
I really doubt it.
All right. Okay.
And I run to the gate, and she was like, the plane hadn't left yet. She's like, the door is closed. I go, she's like, sorry.
Door closed.
You're going to have to catch the next one.
I remember
like,
this.
Bitch, you can open the fucking door.
But then what happened? Here's what's funny. How about what almost happened again? Because then you were waiting there on the next one, and you dozed off again. And when Ruben woke up, they were bored. He had already missed his boarding spot.
So they had already called
opinion,
my zone. Yeah,
I think they made the announcement. Ruben was asleep and didn't hear it.
Of course, you'd go against me.
Because
I'm telling you, John,
everybody supposed to know that there's a gate change?
Dude, here's the thing.
How's everybody?
I wasn't the only one running up to that other flight either.
Right, because there was 12 other people who fell asleep.
Really? Anyway. What are you laughing at, Chris?
He knows good comedy.
Anyway.
But there's so many like that. It's tough with that door closing thing, man, that they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess I kind of look at it this way. Could you imagine how many times they'd have to reopen, and if for every time somebody's like, they just missed it,
because I guess a lot of times what they say is they've already given your seat away or added somebody else.
That's another thing. The people on standby.
But here's what pisses me off though, and I don't know if you've experienced this, when they close a flight early.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now to me, that's not cool.
No.
You know, if they go, it's like, hey, you know, we didn't have a full flight. We just loaded. Like that's happened to me where I've been on the plane and they go, hey, we have everybody on board, so we're gonna make, you know, we're gonna take off.
We're gonna
early.
get you guys there early. Everybody gets excited.
But that's not fair to give a specific time that you're taking off, and you know, you tell, you know, it's on your attention. Like the door closes 10 minutes prior before, you know, taking off.
Yeah.
And you make that deadline and they go, yeah, sorry, we took off early. Like, nah.
Yeah. No, that one I don't. I mean, they got to at least wait until. Yeah, you know what? I forget about that because sometimes I'm on a flight and they're like, we're going to be able to get out of here a little early. I didn't really think about, is there somebody on their way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they're running through the airport or something. I don't know.
So let me ask you this: after 20 years of traveling, do you enjoy traveling?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't. I not the process of the airports. I do not.
Yeah. It wears you down.
It wears you down. People are so much. And I feel like I can see the difference from now to 15 years ago. And even maybe the last 10 years, because now it's I mean, granted, here's a good thing about technology is that you don't have the chatty Cathy next to you anymore. Remember back in the day, somebody would be like, so where are you going?
Yeah. Where are you off to?
Where are you off to?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get stuck in these long, where now everybody's kind of in their own world.
Except when it comes to people of color sometimes. Because one thing that pisses me off.
Because there's a connection.
Or if I'm in first class or something, and I could be dressed like this. And they go, yeah, excuse me, this is for first class passengers? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm in this fucking line.
Right. Wait.
Like they're questioning whether I'm in first class
and you didn't experience this 10, 15 years ago?
Well, I probably wasn't flying first class 10, 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it pisses you off even sometimes when the people that work at those airlines do stuff like that.
Right, because they should know that you can't.
It's like, why assume? Like, if you're gonna ask me, ask everybody in the line.
Yeah,
ask everyone in the line.
But you know,
and people think, oh, black people are being too sensitive or whatever. But it's like, if you're standing there, right, and they go, "Excuse me, sir, this is for first class." Okay, then say that to the lady that's next to me. Say that you didn't say. You know what I mean? Say that to everybody.
Yeah.
Don't just point me out like I'm not, and I go, yeah, I know, I'm in first class, seat 2B, bitch. I'm sorry, black people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I should. You know, the next time I fly first class, when I fly, I think I'm gonna dress like a cholo.
You should
see if they ask me anything.
Absolutely would.
Wouldn't it be great?
They might ask you just looking like that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, no, I know what you mean. I've been in those situations before, and it's
And here's another thing. Is sometimes when you're in first class, it's like, hey, so what do you do? Do you play sports or something? Like,
are you rapping?
Yeah. Are you
do rapping?
I don't know. It just bothers me. People should mind their own business, but it's the stereotype of thinking that, you know, you're not worry or
you're
there's no
not
way
supposed to be there.
Yeah, you could be,
which is really odd because nowadays
here's the last one. Or when the businessman, you're in line, and dude, this happened to me like a month ago, where the guy just goes like they announce and they go, excuse me,
yeah,
and you go, well, what? And he goes, first class, and I go, yeah, I'm here, dude,
for first class.
I'm here for first class.
Yeah,
and then it's like, what, you just assume that there's no way?
Yeah. And I wonder if, not that we should have to do that, any of us.
Yeah.
But what if we were dressed in a suit? Would that make the difference? Or I always wonder that sometimes. Like, you know, if I'm dressed like this in first class or business class, is it kind of like that? Or if I was in a suit,
it probably would make a difference.
You think so?
I think it would make a difference because you'd automatically go, okay, he's in a suit, so maybe he does belong there. But the problem is, the white guy that's dressed like us, they don't get that.
Right. Correct.
And I can say that because
sometimes.
Yeah, because I've traveled with some of my friends, fellow comics who've been in first class, who are dressed like me, are most of the times way worse. Like,
we
dude,
know the comics.
Yeah, it's like, dude, did you just paint a house before you came here? Like, what? Like, we're traveling. What the hell you got that on?
You know what, man? I'm gonna dress. Maybe I'll dress kind of like landscaper, like a gardener.
That would be hilarious.
And then I go like that. You hear Uno class? This Uno class. Huh?
Uno class.
And then when the lady goes, I need to see your ticket. We're like, hey,
mira, Uno class.
Pinche cabrón. Una class.
Una class.
Uno class.
But yeah, that's some of the stuff that I don't like dealing with in traveling. And then when you go through all the stuff like getting TSA pre-check and stuff like that,
yeah,
like I was annoyed on my way. It's like on my way back, we went through customs, American customs, to get back into the U.S.
Oh,
and then
yeah, that's right.
It's like take your shoes off, and it's like I'm TSA pre-check. I went through this, meeting and background check and all this stuff. I don't have to take my shoes off and do all this other stuff. So some of that is annoying when you travel. But
yeah, because a lot of people don't. For us, man, dude, remember pre 9/11 flying?
Yeah,
and your friends and family walked with you to the gate.
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
How about that, dude?
Remember
you had your family and friends with you, or your spouse, or who you were dating. That person drove you there.
You know what
you guys walked through the airport together. At the gate, you're saying goodbye. People are kissing,
crying.
Family members are crying. Now it's just like they gotta wave to you from after you go through TSA.
I know, dude.
Think
I forgot
about
all
that,
about
bro.
You know what I miss? I miss white people in. No, I'm serious. In the terminal, getting off the plane with balloons and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Susan! Yeah. They have balloons.
Right there at the gate.
Yeah, right there at the gate. You get off. Yeah, they'd have balloons and stuff. Family members there. Hugs and everything. Everybody walking to baggage claim as a family. I never experienced that, but
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic, dude. Like we walked up to the gate.
Yeah.
No TSA. And then there was like maybe some metal detectors and stuff that we went through. Were there even?
I think they allowed you to go through security without, a ticket, because you'd be like, "Yeah, I'm walking."
Yeah, no. I mean, did we walk through anything back then? Was there like just a metal detector or something that we would walk through? I'm talking pre-TSA, so this is 2000,
Johnny,
before 9/11, and
2099
and 98.
Yeah, I want to say. Yeah. I think we did have to go through some type
just
of
like a little
basic security check. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's what it was. I think we just kind of took our stuff out. I think, God, dude, I can't even remember.
There's no shoes off and stuff like that.
Of course not.
Yeah, and the dude who messed up, remember the dude got caught with the explosives in his shoe or something?
The guy with tried to light his shoe on. That's right.
And then comics were doing bits about that for a long time.
Oh man.
I don't know. For me, people always ask me, like, even when I was up in Terrace, and shout out to the wonderful people up in Terrace, British Columbia, like, hey, thank you for coming up here. I know it was a long haul for you to come up here and do this show. Do you like traveling? Like you said, I don't like the airport and necessarily some of the towns I go to or the cities I go to. I wish I could just go from home to the stage. Just straight to the stage. Because skip the hotel and all that.
What people don't understand is, and granted, sometimes we're in great cities.
Yes.
We end up in great cities, and it could be a lot of fun. But it's the amount of time that we spend getting to these places, venues. That's really why sometimes we're like, yeah, I like to try to get this much money, and people are like, wow, but you're only on stage for, you guys work like 45 minutes a night at the tops. We're like, I know. But I've got to travel to this. I got a connection there. Then I got to get a rental car. How about those things that we used to do?
Yeah, when you have to
at the second flight, you have to then get a rental car. And then like the one I did in Texas last year, that corporate gig where
you had to drive.
Remember the dude goes,
like, did you have to drive like 8 hours or 6 hours?
Yeah, he's like, it's hey man, you want to do a gig right outside Dallas? I'm like, yeah, that's how it started. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, go in here. And then come to find out, I go, yo, dude. It's like 300 miles from Dallas. So I had to fly into Dallas, and then I got the rental car, and then I drove all the way up, just made the gig.
Uh-huh.
And then the next day, because I didn't, initially remember how long, I had to get up at like 5 a.m. and start that drive back the next morning. And I got lost with GPS because the place was it was such a small town. But those things people don't understand. I remember afterwards going, this was not worth the pay. Right?
Yeah,
like there's some afterwards you go, you're getting paid decent. It's like a corporate thing. It's one night. And then on the drive back, I'm going, no, I lost on this one. I lost. I should have charged double. What are you gonna ask? Somebody asking you something?
No, some of those gigs, man, where you have to fly and drive are tough. I know Tony's doing one this weekend. He's flying to Houston and then he has to drive to Lafayette or something like that.
If you have somebody with you, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
If you have
but a lot of times you're by yourself.
But most of the time we're by ourselves, and man, that's. Dude, that drive I took from in that Texas area, it got small, more and more rural. And
let me ask the question since we're live. Yeah. Is there anybody out there, any comic? Well, maybe I shouldn't ask this. It's for a gig. Never mind.
What? Well, now we want to know.
Well, it's for a gig. A friend of ours is looking for a feature in Vegas. It's from Thursday through Sunday, $600 in a hotel room.
Oh, you're giving out the price.
Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Let me not.
Well, it's for a feature.
It's for a feature.
You know what? That would be that's a good gig for somebody that's local.
Local in Vegas?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But somebody sent me a text like, hey, do you know anybody? And
well then why don't you DM Ruben on that?
No. Don't DM me.
Why?
Because then you know what?
You don't want to deal with it.
Gig is gone. The gig is gone.
You know what? I'll take it.
You take it?
I just took it.
Okay. Johnny's gonna do it. Man, that's shitty money though.
Yeah, because it's not like it. Well, listen to this.
There's no travel. Be different. I don't know. To do something anyway. Let me not get into that because to each his own.
Yeah.
Because
some comics are like, hey man, that's.
But you know what we forget sometimes, and it's the big debate where, there's people obviously listen like, man, $600,
for 4 days, 5 days, 4 days, 5 days.
But you got to look at it, in terms of what industry that you're in, and where in the industry are important.
And by the way, that guy's only doing 20 minutes a night.
Yeah. But he has to get himself there, travel.
Yeah.
So he's not.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not going to come home with 600.
No, I'm saying that's a good gig.
Well,
for
let me not shit on this gig, but it's taken already.
No. Here's the thing. That's a great gig for somebody that's living in Vegas.
Let me ask you a question. So it's ironic that we're talking about Vegas now. We're talking about traveling. Is there a city? Forget the comedy club. Is there just a city you like to go? Like when you get booked there, you're like, cool, man. I love going to this city. Just because, maybe restaurants there, the nightlife there, friends, like what cities do you like to travel to when you
it was always Tempe.
Oh,
Tempe and Phoenix were my favorite.
Why?
places.
For what reason?
I don't know, man. I just loved it there. The atmosphere, the people, the audiences were amazing in Tempe.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I used to tell you, man. I used to say, if there's a place I'm going to tape a special, it's going to be Tempe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So Tempe.
Would you like hanging out like off stage too?
Off stage, dude.
Yeah.
And the people there, the staff, the people that we would go hang out with afterwards. I can't put my finger on it, but I always had such a great time in Tempe.
I used to love playing the San Francisco Punchline, just because. First of all, the crowds are fantastic in the Bay Area.
I only did that club once, dude.
Really?
Yeah, only got booked at that club.
One of the smartest comedy audiences.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I wasn't there.
Maybe that is why.
Maybe that is.
No.
I was over at the Sacramento Punchline.
Yeah, I worked Sac too. Sac was more blue collar.
The more blue. It was very blue collar.
But
which I like that. See, I like that though. I like regular people, man.
I do like blue collar, but
sometimes they get a little too.
See, I didn't find San Francisco like that. I found San Francisco because it's very liberal up there, obviously.
Yeah, right.
And you just have a nice cross section of people. At that club.
Of course.
And
listen, when I did it that one time, it was amazing.
And it's diverse.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you're in San Francisco.
You're in San Francisco. Like, so you have a mixture of like obviously gay, straight, black, white, Latino, Asian,
the whole thing.
You know, white collar, blue collar, all under. That's why Chappelle. That's one of his favorite clubs to work.
Yeah.
He'll always go and do a run there. It's just a great club, and I remember working, you know, just working there for years. And then I had so many friends in the Bay Area, you know, Oakland and San Francisco, so they'd come to the city, you know, hang out, go have dinner. You could walk around.
See, here's what sucks about that is I had, you know, so much family in San Jose and the surrounding areas. I would have always had people coming in. I
know.
And I never got booked there, man. But I agree. That place is, and here's another thing.
It would have been a great place for you to work. I mean, just knowing what you do, like you'd kill there.
Yeah, dude, I had an amazing week. And I
told you so when I took Edwin San Juan with me there. Right?
Yeah, that's you know, this is one of those stories where did we talk about this already on the podcast?
What?
When you brought Edwin?
When he destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it already.
We might I think, you know.
But anyway, it's one of those we won't get into the whole thing, but
yeah.
But bottom line is, you know, when you're headlining, you have to really think about who you're bringing with you. I know it's great to be challenged and you want somebody really good. Ruben and I have always been good about bringing strong comics, but you also, you know, you want to be able to have something left when you get up there. You still did great.
Here's the thing,
that
Johnny,
was funny, dude. Because
we're going over, you know, old territory here, but I just don't understand. For me, when I'm headlining, I want the whole show to be good.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
From beginning to end. I want the MC to be good. I want the feature to be good. And I want the feature to kill under the rules that are set in place. Like, don't run the light, you know, don't do it, you know, we have whatever.
Totally.
But it's just interesting to me how some guys prefer to have weak people in front of them. And to each his own. They if they're on the show, you know, if we were talking to them, they could probably tell you, like, well, Ruben, Johnny, this is why I don't like somebody. But for me, seeing somebody kill in front of me gets me going.
Sure.
Gets my energy up. It's like, all right, cool, because I'm not in competition with the other person, but I just, when the room is rocking, man.
By the way, you already know the crowd's in a great mood.
Yes. You know the crowd is a great room. They're killing.
Because when you got two weak ones before you,
the
crowd sometimes gets uncomfortable with, you know, they're like, hey, we spent this money.
Yeah.
This show's not that great.
When both the acts, and I've had weeks like this, when both the acts are weak and then you come up, it's like you're doing cleanup to prove to the people, like, hey, this is a professional comedy show here. And then sometimes it could take you a minute to get them on board because they've just sat through much shit.
Yeah.
You know,
which is why sometimes, you know, this is the other reason why, listen, the club owners had their reason. Hey, this is why, because this person brings me, and then the comics had their proper reason. I'm not wording it right, but they could validate their reasoning is, hey, you know, you're also pairing me up with somebody that's really, this doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
So a lot of times that was the hard part, you know, when certain bookers would just, you'd get there and then you're watching the two people before you go, this is such, we are so opposite. And, you know, somebody could be really dirty and you're not. And then,
well, I mean, opposite can be good if
fine.
kind of, what am I trying to say?
Compliment each
other. Yes.
No, of course. I mean, that's why I would use certain guys that I knew were not going to step in. They're not going to do any topics that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it could be, you know, if like, you know, when I was matched up sometimes in the Midwest or the South with like a good old boy that's doing like, you know, redneck material or whatever they call, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then that's a weird thing, especially if there's two of them before me.
Yeah.
And then I get up
and it's like, hey, I'm the complete opposite of these guys, and I don't believe in anything that they believe in.
Right.
And you guys are all on board with that, so you're gonna hate me.
You're not gonna like what I gotta say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that used to happen a lot where you go, hey, look, man, I don't know about this Kentucky room. If can they find a black dude out there?
Yeah.
Can they, but so that there's a little
culture.
Yeah. That I would be going on.
Because sometimes you're performing, just for clarity, all white audience.
It's literally 95% white, and you've got two good old boys going on before you. One of them wearing overalls.
You're talking about racism and
yeah, I'm talking
inequality.
about and then they're probably expecting me but they want the other kind of Mexican comedy.
Yeah, that's gonna shit on their own culture.
Right. They're expecting me to come out going, hey man, golly, it's a long way, huh? They love it. But I'm the opposite, going, yeah, listen, guys, I don't speak Spanish. I'm third generation. I'm watered down. All of a sudden, like, well, hell, he's getting all smart and shit on us.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Johnny. So, and I know let's
ask everybody what their places are. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, if I don't know if people are asking questions or if they're chiming in or not. Chris hasn't let us know anything. But if you're in a position, like say you're going out on a tour, right? Would you find one guy and just use one guy, or would you mix it up and use multiple people? What would you do?
I usually start, when I would start using a feature, I would try to use them each time if I could. You know what I mean?
So like, for instance, like George has one guy that he's used for years.
No. I would mix it up after.
You would mix it up?
Yeah. I mean, I think I would use somebody for a while and then go, you know what?
But when you mean for a while, like one tour and then the next tour use somebody else. And the next
maybe like a half a year.
Because I'll do dates with them sometimes, like if Brian can't do a date or if there's something specific,
of course.
We're working on something. But I know Russell, like he uses somebody different all the time.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. But me, I think I would switch it up. I would
a handful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Hart uses the same. He's been using the same guys for years, and I do understand that because you know what to expect when you walk out.
Exactly.
You don't have to wonder. You don't have to think like you know the comics. And then you know what they do.
Yep.
And they're going to compliment what you do, and it's easy, and you just slide right in and do your thing. So I'm curious on what people might think about that.
Yeah.
Other comics.
And you know what's funny?
Listening.
How about when you decide to use somebody, right, that you've seen, that you work together, so you go, and then all of a sudden when you go out on the road, they're a lot different than what you know, like, wait a minute. Wait,
man, he sounds a lot like me. Why does this guy sound like me all of a sudden?
Or just like, I haven't heard him get this blue before in LA.
Yeah.
And then you realize, he was staying on the cleaner side because he's trying to, stay inside the big clubs and doesn't want to blow it. And all of a sudden you get him out on the road in the middle of Texas somewhere or wherever. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's like all this dirty material. You go, okay.
Yeah.
Really? Anyway, do we have any questions, Chris? Because we've gone 37 minutes and you haven't said anything.
There's a lot of hellos. Conrad says, "What's up to both of you, Conrad?"
What up, Conrad? DMV Conrad.
Yeah.
Conrad.
Yeah.
What's up?
I hooked Conrad up.
Thanks for telling us. I thought nobody was chiming in, dude.
It's mostly just, hey, what's up?
Okay, well then, hey, what's up? Sorry, Chris is late. Something's wrong with Chris today.
Yeah.
We started an hour late. Maybe that's why.
I was I helped Conrad get tickets to the Rams Saints game this weekend. So he's
that would have been such a great game if Breeze was in it.
Yeah.
Dang.
I know, dude. Yeah, and then of course I had to.
I mean, I'm not saying Teddy Bridgewater. You never know, man. He could get comfortable and hit his stride, but
is Teddy Bridgewater the backup?
Yeah.
Okay, he's decent.
But he just got to get used.
Yeah,
because he struggled after he got hurt. But
and the Rams are good, man.
And then didn't what's that the Jets guy, the quarterback, he got hurt too, right? The second
Simeon. Yeah.
Simeon, right.
Trevor Simeon, I think his name is.
Yeah. So now people are saying that more than likely the Jets probably won't score a touchdown against the Patriots. And if that happens, the Patriots then break a record that was held by the Chicago Bears from 1937, the 37 Bears.
Anyway, I don't even want to talk about that. But
just give me some little sports facts, okay? I just like to get Ruben all riled up.
You know how I basically watched Michael Jordan play this past weekend, man. Pat Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs, dude.
Oh.
I've seen a lot of quarterbacks live, and of course over the years watching on TV. But to see somebody live, he's probably the best quarterback I've ever seen live.
Because you were at that game.
I went to the game.
Yeah,
and I've seen some great quarterbacks, Johnny. But this kid, dude, he's impressive. He has a cannon, poise. He's mobile but doesn't run. He just buys time, and his accuracy is crazy.
He's sort of like a Aaron Rodgers,
but more mobile,
a little more mobile.
Stronger arm.
He's basically Aaron Vick. He's Aaron Rodgers and Michael Vick.
I've never seen anything like him. Like he has a lot of Elway in him.
Yeah, Elway was a good scrambler, by the way.
He has a lot of. He has
very elusive.
He has a dude. It's just he threw one pass off of his back foot 60 yards. He just flicked it.
Yeah,
you know, and he's throwing dimes, like completely accurate. And but it was disappointing loss. But again, you're losing to a team that people are predicting that can possibly go to the Super Bowl. And Raiders had a lot of injuries. They still, we still don't have our whole team there. So, and no one scored in the second half. So, when we got off to a 10-0 start.
Right.
So, I obviously we're better than we were last year, but
tough schedule too. We got a tough schedule.
Well, we're talking about traveling.
So
here's
anyway,
another thing. San Fran is a city that I love to work in.
Yes.
For the club and just to hang out in the city because I have so many friends in the Bay Area and
Fisherman's
Oakland
Wharf.
and stuff.
I could hang out at Fisherman's Wharf every day.
And we even hung out when we went there the last time we did a gig together. Vegas.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people complain about Vegas because it's such a long week, and I'm not a gambler, but I have a lot of friends in Vegas, and it's just cool to have something to do if you feel like doing something.
But how do you like the crowds in Vegas? Not as much as the city, right?
No,
right.
Because Vegas,
it's all tourists.
Vegas is a different
beast.
People get
wasted, man.
Yeah, and but I think Vegas is interesting because I think it could help your comedy in a way where
you got to be able to reach. People are from all over.
They're from all over. It's almost like
your comedy's got to be
like
crossover.
if you performed on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are watching you from all over the country.
And people from out of the country.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to see how your stuff goes over in front of crowds like that. Like,
because the local LA stuff ain't gonna do so well.
Oh yeah,
when comics get into they like doing just like.
But the thing is, what people I think get confused, like some of the LA stuff that I do, like the LA stuff that I do is from my own personal.
No, it's personal.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm
but
talking
some
about
but the specific references, LA references that people make. Because I remember somebody came up to me and goes, "Hey, how does that LA stuff work out of LA?" And I go, "It works everywhere because I'm talking about where I'm from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and people are very familiar with where I'm from. I'm not talking about specific things like, man, I was on 54th and Hoover.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, what's 54? You know what I mean?
54th and Hoover, and the store right there that got whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
too
doing
specific.
That. Yeah. Another place is New York. I love.
God, I've only performed there once.
What?
Yeah.
Your whole career, you've only performed in New York City once time,
and that was when I went out there to do my special.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I didn't get well, you know what? Too, a lot of times my reps were always like, "Hey, man," because they know I liked as close of the flights as possible. I preferred to try to if things came up, but a lot of those didn't come up for me back then. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't work New York a lot. You go through pockets. Well, at least I have when I've gone there. But I just love the energy.
The last time I was there, I was just thinking about New York. I'm literally yesterday or 2 days ago. I was there to work the Laugh Factory when they opened.
Oh, really?
That's the last time.
I never worked the New York Laugh
That's
Factory.
the last time I was there.
Really?
Yep.
And how was that?
It was great. I loved it. Oh,
so you performed more than once there? Twice?
That's right. That is twice. That's right. That's right. Okay.
So you taped your special there, and then you
taped my special, but I can't remember the club that I performed. I performed at two places the 2 nights before I did my special, but I can't remember. I don't even remember what they were, dude. And it wasn't the Cellar though, because I would have known going
Yeah, you'd have remembered
downstairs.
the Cellar. It's probably the Comic Strip or Stand Up New York.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then, and that's right. Okay, so twice though, dude. That's the only 2 times I've been.
Oh, really?
So when did he open the Laugh Factory?
I don't even remember.
In New York, was that 09? 2010? Because I think I had already finished with Mad. I think I was done with Mad TV at that point.
I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even remember.
Okay.
Do you remember where you stayed? Where they put you up?
No. Don't remember.
Wow.
So weird.
So have you worked a lot so you haven't worked much on the East Coast at all? Just in general? Like
no,
DC?
Not really.
Philly.
DC. Did the Stress Factory a couple times in Jersey.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, man, I mean, if anything.
Oh, Atlantic City.
If anything.
Atlantic City. When we were
Yeah.
Remember the one gig that we did? We had to chase down the money.
With Butch.
Oh, really? You're just gonna put him out there like that, man?
I don't remember. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the one with Sebastian.
Oh, no. That one was great because Butch was actually in control of that one.
Yeah, no.
That
wasn't Butch's fault. That wasn't
Butch's fault.
That wasn't Butch's fault.
I just want to make that clear. That's our boy.
Oh, no. I forgot about that one, dude.
Yeah, man.
I was thinking about the one.
Remember Jackson Purdue?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, have you gotten paid yet? I got my money.
I got lucky because I got in early.
Isn't that crazy when you do certain gigs?
If you get there early,
there's a window.
There's a window. Either and by the way, it's a window of either getting paid properly and right away.
Yeah.
And the other one is getting in there before they change the price, or the room goes away.
Eleanor, I was just talking to Eleanor last week. Shout out Eleanor Kerrigan.
Yeah, whisper out Eleanor Kerrigan.
Anyway, shout out Eleanor. But we're talking about a gig, a particular club, and the club was bouncing checks.
Oh.
You know what, man? Since everybody's doing Venmo and PayPal and stuff, these clubs need to start.
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
I know, huh? Y'all need to start Venmoing, man.
It's too easy. It's
too
like
instantaneous, man.
Because you can just tell them right there when you're signing all the paperwork.
Yeah, just go ahead and Venmo.
Hey, go ahead and Venmo me right now.
Yeah, man. I ain't got to go to the bank. I ain't got to do nothing, man. I'll transfer it to my.
And then they're. I mean, for them it's so weird that even they're still.
But what are the amounts? Is there a limit to the amounts that you can send? Do you know that, Chris?
Okay, so what if they just give you something each night when you're done?
Yeah.
Here's the amount. It's your average is blah 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 per show.
Yeah.
So you just finished your Friday night, 2 shows. Hey man, I'm done. Oh yeah, that's right.
Wow, that's interesting.
Boom. Then you got it there. It's not the full amount.
You're limited to $300 a week on Venmo, which is not.
No, that's not true.
No way.
Really?
That's not true.
I've received more than that.
I've sent more.
Oh no.
Or how about PayPal?
3,000. Sorry, 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
PayPal.
Yeah.
You could do PayPal.
You do PayPal
Or Venmo, whichever. I mean, PayPal owns Venmo.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But anyway, I'm just curious. Does anybody have I knew you said you also wanted to talk about favorite places to. I didn't know you meant stand up. I thought you meant places to visit. Where haven't you been that you want to go though? I'm sure there's a lot. I know there's a lot for me.
I want to go to Paris. I haven't been to Paris. Just because,
Yeah. It's Paris.
Yeah, I want to go to Paris, see the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Did I say that right? Is the Eiffel Tower in Paris? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where else? I've been a lot of places.
Have you been to Italy? Because Italy's one for me.
Love Italy, man.
Did you get to see the Colosseum? Because that's what I want to.
No, I missed that because I had to. Literally, I was in Italy. I had to fly back and play Barclay Arena. Remember that whole thing? I was in Italy. Russell Peters was opening up the Barclay Arena, and he wanted me to do the date. And it's just like, how do you pass up an opportunity to open up this new arena?
In this arena. And
I was like, dude, I'm in Italy. And he was like, how long are you going to be there? And I think I was there for 2 weeks. And he was like, why don't you just fly in and I'll fly you in and fly you back out. And that's what he did. And everybody thought I was crazy because I left Italy, flew to New York, landed day of show, got picked up, car picked me up at the airport, went to the arena, took a shower, changed, went on stage, performed, after party, flew out the next morning back to Italy.
So where were you staying in Italy?
First class, motherfucker. We were in, when did I leave? Where did I leave? Because I flew into Milan, we went all through Italy. So I think I left.
These weren't military gigs.
No, I left, it wasn't Venice. It was,
Hey, you don't remember?
I don't remember.
You're not Tuscany because it's too far out, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Tuscany. I think it was Tuscany.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when I went back, went to Venice. But yeah, but Italy is great. I don't know. I want to go. I want to go to more. I want to go to Greece. That's a place that I really, really want to go to.
Yeah, Greece isn't a big one.
And I heard Greece is not that expensive.
Right. I just want to. And also, again, for me,
not that I care
for Greece. Really, for me, Greece is all about. The structures, of course, and then where the Olympics were and where they started.
Yeah. And just every time I see photos of Greece, man, it's beautiful. Like Santorini. And Angelo Saroukas is, he's Greek. He's from there. And he was telling me he was going to, well, maybe I forget where I live. But anyway, they're doing festivals and stuff down there. So hopefully I'll be going there soon.
Spain too, dude. Spain and Portugal I'd like to go to. But I'd love to. I've always wanted, since I was a kid, I wanted to see the pyramids. But then when I talk to people who've been there, they're kind of like, it's a little rough around there. In Egypt,
I definitely want to go there.
Yeah,
I definitely
see the pyramids.
I have friends who are Egyptian, who have offered me like, hey, I have a place there that you could stay. It's, right on the water, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd love to do that. I mean, I've been to Africa, which is great, and I'm going to be going back. But South Africa, I love.
It's South Africa, or were you in another area of Africa?
I've been to South Africa. I've been to Ethiopia.
Wow.
I've been to Djibouti.
You got what?
Anyway, but I think if I think of a place that I really, really, I want to go to more tropical places.
Like the Caribbean and all that?
Different places. I've never been to Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica.
Oh, I went to Jamaica, yeah.
How'd you like it?
I thought it was great. I mean, we were only there for we stayed at a resort.
Oh, you did a gig there. That's right there with, you did it with Cedric, right?
Yeah. That's Cedric the Entertainer, everybody.
Yeah.
And Bill Bellamy and Tommy Davidson.
Oh, that was cool. How long were you there?
3 days.
Did you hang out?
A little bit, because we were on a resort,
dope.
which was fantastic. So, that wasn't very much time, man, because we stayed there. That was the weekend that we were there when Michael Jackson passed away.
Oh wow!
Because we were going over to a sound check, and somebody's like, "Hey, man, Michael Jackson's in the hospital. They said he's not, he's critical. He's not doing well." We're just like, but of course everybody's like, he'll be. And then it wasn't until later that night, next morning, and then when we taped the actual special. He had passed, I think, that morning, and Cedric had talked about it. But.
Yeah, I think now, because when you're first starting out as a comic, you just don't have the money to do it. But now, like if I get a gig in a certain place, like say if I do this gig,
I know what you're gonna say.
Greek, I would love to go a week early or stay a week after.
Yeah,
do the gig, whatever, and then just stay a little longer to really enjoy it,
soak it in,
because a lot of places you go and like, man, this is dope, but you don't get to see the place. Like even a place like going to Miami, Miami I get out, but
I used to get out. I got out to Miami.
Miami's that's another great place to gig.
Great
place to gig.
Great.
Yeah, when you're booked in Miami, like
you're like, I'm not making any money.
Yeah, man.
You ain't making
Vegas,
all your money's
Miami,
you're gonna spend.
San Francisco.
You're gonna spend.
I don't work DC a lot. I hope to work it more, but I love Washington DC, man. The crowd's there.
Yeah,
and, I love hanging there.
But those are the cities you're gonna spend a lot. Vegas,
but it's
Frisco,
it's just
Miami.
stuff to do. You know what I mean?
And one that used to be one of my favorites actually was. Even though it was small audiences because you're on the Riverwalk, it was in San Antonio.
Yeah, when I was in San Antonio, didn't do much.
The Riverwalk.
Yeah, I didn't go.
I'm one of those. I do like touristy spots sometimes, and for me, that walking up and down the Riverwalk and going into different bars, I enjoyed that.
Okay,
in San Antonio.
Yeah,
but of course, you got a comedy club on a Riverwalk. It was always rare people coming in for the shows.
Everybody always talks about like the shittiest gigs that they've ever done. One of the best gigs I've ever done to this day, and I had fun, was when Hawaii. Then when Jamie had the Laugh Factory in Hawaii.
I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No.
Dude.
Damn.
One show a night.
One show a night.
And had so much fun. That's where I met Paulo Gata for the first time.
Paulo Gata, yeah.
Yeah, because he was, he was living in Hawaii, and he was doing local radio there. But it was just dope to just hang out during the day. The weather was fantastic. The food was great. Do the show.
Who was Freddie hosting? I thought Freddie Soto wasn't hosting, was he?
No, Freddie wasn't hosting.
Who was it?
Frazier was with me. Frazier, I'm trying to think.
It was only two comics.
It was a 2-man show.
Yeah, so one went up for
Oh man, shout out Frazier at the time. I know he won't mind saying this, but I guess the amount of time he had to do, like at the time he didn't have it. He's like, Rube, I was like, dude, just do what you can and I'll fill in the rest. And we had a blast. I got Frazier drunk, which was fun.
That was like a Tuesday through Saturday?
Yeah.
It was almost a whole week, or Tuesday through Sunday?
I think it was, I want to say it was like a full week.
Monday through Sunday or something.
Hotel was good, and then the nightlife was
great. One show a night.
Yeah.
Dang, dude. That's the place to get a room going.
Oh, man. Well, here's the thing. I'm speaking to somebody about doing a comedy night on the Big Island. They reached out to me, so I'm gonna actually hopefully fly out there at the beginning of the year and scout some spots and talk to the people out there and see if it's viable to do maybe a once a month thing out there. Maybe could turn in, like, they want to do a Rubee Tuesdays type thing out there.
That'd be great.
But Hawaii is so expensive, so we really got to figure out the economics of it, and I just want to figure out where it's beneficial for the comics, because to get when you get to a certain level as a headliner, there's a certain amount of money you want to be able to pay people, but maybe there's a balance of hey, it's Hawaii, maybe they'll use it as a vacation.
I was just gonna say, I can tell you right now, most comics are gonna be like, okay, that's the pay, but actually it's a free trip to Hawaii.
Yeah,
they may break even or whatever, but I just feel like a lot of comics would be willing to take that.
But you know me, I'm always thinking of the comics first. I would love to do it where it's like, okay, this is the gig, but we'll cover 3 nights of hotel or something like that.
Yeah.
Because normally, if you're doing a one-nighter, they'll cover 2 nights. They'll cover the day you fly in, that night, the night of the gig, and then you're going. You add.
What if it's just a Friday? What if it's two shows, Friday and Saturday, and then you got their room on Sunday, and they can do what they want on Monday?
Yeah, maybe something like that.
And it doesn't cost you too
much. What's funny is I was gonna I've been going back and forth with them, and I was actually gonna talk to you about it because you're so anal about things. You'll definitely go through every...
you mean brilliant? Got great ideas? Is that what you mean?
Anal and brilliant, they don't even line up. I mean, you'll go through every... You're nitpicky. You're picky.
Persnickety.
Okay.
By the way, I already have a great name for a comedy room in Hawaii, but I'm not saying it on here.
You gonna tell me after when we get off?
I don't know now. I mean, maybe I won't.
What's your best gig that you've ever done? Travel wise, like place.
One was yours. That one was yours.
Hawaii was great, dude. I mean, I've had some great.
Like
I've been blessed
the whole
to,
thing, like travel. Like you mean like the area, the show, the whole.
Yeah,
package?
Just like, man, this is dope. I mean, granted, I've been blessed enough to travel, around
way
the
more
world,
internationally than I have,
and go to some really cool places. But I just remember Hawaii, and then like some of those. I just remember Hawaii being like, this is my gig. You know what I mean? I'm headlining.
And were you guys getting that there at that time? It was newly open, so the audiences were what? How it was not that during the week. I'm talking about during the week.
We're getting decent crowds.
Like,
you know what I mean?
50,
probably
80?
more. Probably a little more.
Oh wow,
more than that. Yeah, okay. The weekends were even better. But yeah, they were just, the club was newly open, and then they had some issues with Hawaiian laws.
Wow.
With being able to put signs up in certain places because they try to protect the environment there.
Yeah.
So there are issues trying to promote. Like people always wonder, like, why hasn't Hawaii ever had a truly a successful comedy club. You would think they would be able to do it. But I know expense has been an issue in Hawaii, and the other thing has been some of the laws there to protect, like being able to put signs certain places you're not allowed to put signage. Like there's a lot of weird
because there's the
little
Big
rules
Island,
there.
there's Oahu, there's Maui, Honolulu, right? Honolulu's on its own. Honolulu,
Yeah, Honolulu is
its own little island, or is it on a bigger island?
I think Honolulu is its own island.
It's its own island. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry guys, I'm not that familiar with, but you're talking about the big island. That's what
for the gig.
For the gig.
Yeah, on Kona.
Oh,
Kona
okay.
is the big island.
Okay,
I believe.
See, I forgot. I didn't even know that.
There's so many. It gets confusing.
Yeah, there's remember the old talk about confusing. Remember the old thing about whenever you visit. This was back before GPS, so back when you used to have to get directions, and the local people are like, yeah, you go down here to take a right on Manana Una. Then go left on Awa.
Yeah.
Take a right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Past Starbucks. Take a left on Kaunalului.
Yeah, that used to be funny, man.
I wonder what the GPS sounds like though. When the place take a right here on there's no way that lady can't even pronounce La Cienega out here. So I wonder, does anybody know? Has anybody been to Hawaii with GPS, and what does it sound like? Because
I remember, getting directions in Hawaii was always.
But now
hilarious.
with GPS, I wonder what
we used
the
to get the scooters and stuff, and then
I only went once. I went on a anniversary or something. We went.
Yeah,
there.
I remember you there, and you thought you had a show. You couldn't relax because you thought you forgot you're on vacation.
Yeah, dude, that's when I was doing a lot of gigs, and I remember every morning, or even in the afternoon at dinner, I'd be like, "Oh, what time's the show?" And I'm like, "Oh, couldn't relax there."
So let me ask you this: so what
favorite place?
Just like one of your favorite gigs. It doesn't have to be the favorite, but something that you just stands out to you. Like I've had so many. Playing in Hong Kong. I love Hong Kong. I have a great time every time I'm there.
God, this is gonna sound kind of weird, but
where you just go, man, that's a fun gig. Yeah. I love this city. I love this.
Denver.
Really?
Yes. Denver and Colorado Springs, when I worked with Paul Rodriguez over there. I'm like, there's something about Colorado, dude. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I had some ancestors there. I got relatives. There's something about when it's just, if there's one state that I feel like I could live in, it's Colorado.
Really?
Outside of California.
A lot of people like Colorado.
Now the only thing is it is landlocked though. Beach, no beaches.
Yeah. But are you
the mountains
really?
you
grew up in Tulare.
Yeah, but Tulare had having all those lakes, man. And then we have Pismo Beach, the Portuguese Riviera. Epa!
How far is Pismo from Tulare?
3 hours.
You were in cow country, man.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. But
there's no lakes in Tulare, are there?
Yeah, because you go. Well, yeah, there's rivers and lakes as you head east of Tulare, and you start getting to the mountains and all that stuff. Right? So
did you guys ever
remember Sequoia National Park and Yosemite's just
far.
a little more north. So there
was that a thing that your
the
family
Kern County River, the Bass Lake. We used to go all of these places where you go camping, and then you'd be.
Did your family ever go to? Hey, we're going to go to the lake this weekend?
No,
was that
not
a thing?
The only time we did any of that was my dad and his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They would do an annual camping trip and stuff. But I would go to the lakes and rivers with my friends. That's where we'd go take the drive and then party.
Yeah. Okay.
Whisper out Tulare.
Whatever.
Going and partying on the rivers and the lakes. Anyway. Match that, Ian Bagg, over there at Terrace,
British Columbia, man.
Terrace, BC.
It was
Whisper out to TBC.
TBC. Yeah, we was up in TBC, man.
You got to tell him that.
Yeah, and
what's up, TBC?
Just walking around that place was interesting, but great people there. So shout out to the people out there, and we out, man.
We're out. We're done. This was an impromptu as well because Ruben was flying in.
Yeah, just
last minute doing his O.J. Simpson at the airport, and it was great.
You're gonna keep?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep.
Anyway, thank you for listening to The Best of Everything. We'll be back live next Wednesday 1 o'clock.
1 p.m. We'll be back to the schedule, 1 p.m.
1 p.m. next week. Thank you guys for watching, listening. You can hear the podcast on iTunes, Google Play,
Spotify,
anywhere
YouTube.
You can get podcasts.
Yeah.
That's where we'll be. Thank you guys for listening.
Epa!
Rubee motherfucking Tuesdays.
This show is all about diversity and bringing everyone together. You never know who you're going to see at Rubee Tuesdays.